Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Let me turn this down. Good morning. I don't know what today is. Today's Tuesday, but I'm not sure what day it is. So I'm going to say, I don't know. Today's either like the 25th or the 26th. So we'll go with that for now. Good morning, peeps. What's going on? Thanks for picking up. Yesterday, I could not pay the $5. Oh my God! I tried to wake up. I could not. I woke up with a headache. I told you I've been waking up with headaches because I be needing time. They messing with my work-life balance, and because they messing with my work-life balance, I really be ill. Like I can't. So I paid half. Yesterday, I paid $250. I went to work at like lunchtime, and that was that. But so anyway, what's up with y'all? Did I get some sleep? How was y'all weekend? So last night I heard Sophia trying to do the Mariah Carey, and I was crying because I kept saying, what is all this hooting and hollering going on? Because she do a concert every night ever since she been born. She do a concert. Oh, these people don't want to drive. Don't nobody got to go to work with me, apparently. So she do a concert every night. I heard her, I think you might be getting a little bit too. You know, and that's not easy to say. So she came upstairs and was like, is that Mariah Carey song easy? And I said, no. There are no easy Mariah Carey songs, unfortunately. It might seem easy because it's fun. No, I said Mariah Carey don't have any easy songs. You could try to sing along the best you can, but no. Nothing Mariah Carey does is easy. That's why she's the only one that could do it, and that's why everybody, for the most part, sound a mess when they try. That's been the truth since the 90s. So, that's that. But, so yeah, she was downstairs hooting and hollering. So I was like, let me record this because it was hilarious. But, yeah, so too much has been going on. Oh my God, y'all. I'm still not at the highway yet, but I'm getting there. We'll see. I shouldn't technically be late, but we'll see. I don't know. But let me talk about what everybody can't stop talking about, and I keep on crying, laughing because you want to be on top model. Oh my God. It's true, y'all. When Top Model came out, we was sweating that show. We was sweating it, and they had the girls doing so much off the wall shit. It didn't seem as crazy as it seems now that we're older. And it's like, oh my God. Like, of course, the older you get, the more, shocked and appalled you are at things that seemed to be just normal and regular back in the day. But Top Model came out in 2003, so I was already like well into my 20s by then. But we was still definitely into that show. And when you look, like I said, when you look and see what they had them doing, it's like absolutely. Tyra got up there and said, who? What? Huh? She did all the 5 W's. She didn't know what was going on. She said, it wasn't me. They told me this is what y'all wanted. So this is what I gave. I gave y'all what y'all wanted. Y'all kept showing up every week to watch the show. So we kept on doing stuff. We kept doing stuff. I said, oh my God, Tyra, enough. She is a mess, honey. She is a mess. And I guess it is true. When you think about the Janice Dickinsons, who came up there? Janice Dickinson came up there. There was that one white lady that was up there. I forgot what her name was. Nigel, the 2 J's. They used to be dragging the girls for filth. They used to be dragging them. Oh, my God. And you know what's so trippy? That show was out, and another show, Project Runway. Remember Project Runway? Okay, so I guess Project Runway had like an anniversary or something like that. And they did not invite Tim Gunn, the white guy who was always like giving them tips and things like that, the older white guy. They didn't invite him. That's terrible. Like, he was a huge part of that show. We definitely believed Tim Gunn. He's that guy in fashion. And it's like, Heidi, oh my God, you was up there for like 15 years or more. however long that show has been going on, he was up there. And when they had the anniversary and they looked back, they didn't even invite him. And then you realize that it's a lot of people that they didn't even invite back. I gotta go like this to my nose, y'all, because I can't stop sniffing up. I can't stop having a cold. But it's certain top models that they did not invite, which was, I don't think I saw Kenya. Who did we see? Danielle. We saw Danny. They invited her back, but I don't remember them inviting Kenya back. And remember, they kept saying they weren't saying she was fat, but they kept on telling her she needed to lose weight. She was already like a size 3, 3, 4 maybe. She wasn't no more than a 4. They didn't invite back Yaya, who was on Eva's cycle, and it was between Yaya and Eva, and they let Eva win instead of Yaya. Both of them are successful right now, and so that's excellent. You know what I mean? But and we know Yaya's gorgeous. So but yeah, so anyway, the top model stuff had me crying. One of my girlfriends kept sending me stuff. You want to be on top? You want to be on top? I was crying because it's like, yes, we used to be pressed to watch that show and talk about what happened. And But anyway, enough about that. So is anybody stuck in Mexico? I certainly hope not. I certainly hope nobody I know is stuck out in Mexico. Because down to the Guadalajara, okay, down to the Puerto Vallarta, all right, the cartel said, I'm going to burn this place down. They done took El Chapo's, his successor. That's crazy. I'm like, oh my God. And not that we're dying to have like a kingpin or anything like that, but it's just giving. I mean, first of all, we're reporting that news over here in America as if it's our news to report. But of course, if we could colonize Mexico, we'd do it. And history tells you how all of that played out anyway. That's what they got left. that was what was left. Okay. And now it's called Mexico. But, yeah, the people are stuck in Mexico because the cartel is burning stuff down to the ground. Because they done kill El Manchito. I think that's his name. El Manchito? Something like that. And it's got to start with L. And it's so funny. I'm looking at a business right here. This Mexican place. It's called El Jefe. Jefe is from Power. Remember Jefe? But, I need calories, y'all. Oh, my God. Y'all drinking water? These ain't calories, but I need something. Something missing. But yeah. And Mexico was on my list of potential places to flee to. And it doesn't mean that I won't flee there, but Jesus. Jesus is definitely like, oh my goodness. No. I know. I'm going to try to let y'all in, but I can't really let y'all in right now. I got to get to I have to get to a highway before I can let people over. It's not that I'm not sharing the road, okay? I'm not being a terrible person on the road. I do share the road, but I got to get to where I got to get to too. You know what I mean? And so if you sleep on the road, I'm not going to let you in. Wake up. But anywho, what else is going on? Oh, today we going to they will talk about we want to celebrate birthdays. Y'all just want to all sit down for whatever reason, I guess having a teamwork moment. So we're going to all go. It was a couple of birthdays. It was a couple of us on my team's birthday. So now we all going to have a birthday lunch. And it's given, is somebody paying for this or y'all just try to force me to go to a place? You know what? First thing this morning, as soon as I log in, I need to look at that place and see what I want for lunch. I need to look at their menu. I was supposed to look yesterday. See, look at me sharing the road. Go ahead. Of course, there's no reason for me not to share the road because I can't move. But anyway, so what about y'all? What about the fact that 50 Cent and T.I. going back and forth, right? Now, first things first. We love T.I.'s music. We love 50 Cent's music. Now, you might love one more than the other. Vice versa, it doesn't matter. What I could tell you is this. I stopped following 50 Cent because he's too much of a troll. He do too much. And I just was like, I can't. So I just don't want to see him up on my scrolls. I don't want to see him. I'll find out what happens with him through like the shade room and stuff like that. But I will tell you, 50 Cent's his album The Massacre is my favorite album by him, more than Get Rich or Die Trying. I love The Massacre, and sometimes when I need motivation, I put that on and it gives me everything that I need. Okay, I love The Massacre by 50, but he do too much. 50, there was no reason, and I get you doing what you normally do, trolling, doing the most, saying the most. There was no reason for you to include Tiny in your beef with T.I. There was no reason for it. You know what I mean? Look at this motherfucker. He want to have a crash right now, and I could use a check. I could use a check. Anyway, so yeah, he included Tiny. And King went off, baby. I was like, oh God, he had to let 50 Cent know to go dig that lady up. Okay, let's compare mamas to mamas. One is dead and one is alive. I was like, ooh, Jesus. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So 50, you walked right into that, and maybe you forgot or didn't think maybe her sons was gonna say something, but we can't stand King. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know him not to like him, but he get on my nerves, but that's still his mother. He could say what he want to say on her behalf if he feel like it. That's it. You know what I mean? And he got 3 other brothers that could say something. They could like verbally jump him or physically jump him. You know what I mean? But but that's not their mother, but that's still not the point. You know what I'm saying? That's still King mother, and then there's Major. We don't really see Major a lot, but anyway, yeah, King was going off, and then 50 Cent is so stupid. He put up a picture of that green, crazy-looking old frog. And I was crying, because it was just like, he do look like that frog. So both of them was like funny and not funny. Like 50, you could have left Tiny out of it. But man, oh man, out of control. And so let's see how this plays out. We can see how this plays out, because T.I. could easily give King bars. You know what I mean? And he could chop his bars up into little pieces. He could do some, King could do some, and 50 could get definitely lyrically jumped, you know what I'm saying, by the Harris family. That can happen. And that's what I would like to see happen. I'm here for the drama. Because 50, he ain't been rapping in a long time. He just trolling and telling everybody they need to have their stuff by Monday. And I totally get it, but it's like, 50. You talk about people's mom. You want to talk about mamas? That's what King said, pretty much. Oh, he talking about mamas. You don't even have one to be talked about. And then per your story, your mother was definitely like a prostitute / crackhead / drug dealing. Like, enough, 50. Drop it. You should probably drop it right now. Even though you might not feel no kind of way. It's been a long time. Whatever his, feelings are towards his own mom, she could still be dragged down to the grave. She could still be dragged. Whether he feel any kind of way about it or not, it's just like, damn. So, all's fair in love and war, as they say. You know what I mean? All's fair in love and war. Now, something I really, let me change the subject real quick. Something that's tripping me out is, number one, that Ghislaine Maxwell is not in jail. Okay? She was spotted in Canada. And the man called her by her name and she did a double take. She was like, huh? And she said, no. Yes, boo-boo. I called you by your name and you responded. Then you try to sit there and say that wasn't you. It is you. That was her. That was her. She ain't in jail. And then the reason why you're not in jail, because when they had that lady testifying, they would not zoom in. They would not show a clear picture of Ghislaine. That's because it wasn't Ghislaine. Then when they showed the picture of the lady, it was given, who the hell is that? Because that's not her. The nose was different. The eyes was different. The distance between the eyes, that's clearly not her. Unless y'all gave her plastic surgery. And if y'all did, why would y'all give her plastic surgery that makes her look like herself but somebody else? Like, it doesn't make sense. Jelaine was in Canada. I'm sure she might be packed up now and finding somewhere else to go. Or maybe the administration is even further bold enough to leave her right where she is and saying, yeah, you know, what are y'all going to do about it? Because that's what everything that we're witnessing and going through right now as a country, what they're continuously trying to tell us is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to do anything about it? As long as they keep on doing what they want and we don't do anything, nothing happens, they don't keep reporting it, and really, Americans are going to really have to keep trying to fight against this, because if they don't, we will eventually just give up, and this will be the way of the world. The government will do whatever they want, whenever they want, to whoever they want. And because we're accepting it, that's just how it's going to be. Like I said, I still got, granted the cartel is wilding, but Mexico still might be on the list for me to flee to. I might still have to get up out of here, because if Jelaine ain't even got to be in jail, don't that mean that Epstein is probably alive? That's what it could mean. And it's a conspiracy theory or not. You know what I mean? Most of the conspiracy theories that a lot of people have come up with are absolutely true. They're absolutely true. We see it, and it's just so incredible to even want to try to believe that that's happening. But it's just like, it's giving, you know, all type of, it's Squid Games, it's Hostel, the movies, the Hostel 1, 2, and 3, it's Squid Games, oh my goodness, it's the Blacklist, everything you could think of. These people are about that. They be sacrificing babies and drinking blood for real. And they said Ellen DeGeneres is the biggest cannibal of all time. I'm like, what? Oh my goodness. Terrible. Terrible. And I could believe that. It's a lot of missing babies and children and women. So that still has not been accounted for. Still has not been accounted for. You better slow down and stop, sir. But yeah, okay, so I'm on the highway. Well, I'm merging onto the highway right now. But it's really terrible. And it made me think of, remember when Britney Spears went crazy? Remember when Dave Chappelle went crazy? Remember when Martin Lawrence went crazy? It's making me think of this. There's this conspiracy, or what they are saying is that in order for you to get to a certain point, they try to get you to have rituals and do certain things, which obviously is believable at this point. But when you think of how shit went down with Britney Spears, when Martin went crazy, when Dave Chappelle went crazy, it's giving, oh my God. They was probably trying to get y'all on board, and they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to respond to that. And it appeared that they needed help, conservatorship, and all of this type of stuff. But it makes sense that those three at a minimum, even Orlando Brown, the little Nickelodeon Disney kid, it's like their fight against it allowed them to put them in a situation where we think that they are crazy or acting crazy. And I think it was just a matter of them fighting against it, as opposed to just acquiescing and just being a part of the cult. I think all of them were literally trying to fight against it, and it appeared that they were, or had went crazy. And it's like, I think that's what was driving them crazy. And a lot of people don't want to say, they're trying to make me drink blood or eat babies. Like, you don't want to say that, because then it's like, you're not just acting crazy, now you're saying crazy things. You're saying things that people don't want to believe that's true. And it just seems so outlandish and over the top that it's like, ain't no way. But it's a way. It's a way. I could believe that. I could believe that at the height of Britney Spears, at the height of Dave Chappelle, I could believe that. They was definitely trying to get them on board, and they was probably, what? You want me to go do what? No. And it don't just have to be just eating babies. It could be all type of deals trying to get made, and people you trying to include and, you know, not include anymore, and just, you know, that pressure of just feeling like you got to be the best, and if you don't, this gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, I can only try to imagine. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm saying. They could make me rich. But they could realize I don't have to go that high. My richness don't have to be so high where you got to... I don't need to be invited to the cult. I don't need to be invited down to the drinking of the blood. Speaking of drinking blood, I saw something very interesting about religion. And listen, I grew up hard body in a church, right? When they talk about human sacrifices and cannibalism, somebody made the point to say, what's the difference between what they're doing and you taking communion? I said, oh my God. What? Because the little white wafers is the body and the wine is the blood. Oh my God. It's giving human sacrifice, right? Jesus died on the cross for my sins. Oh my goodness. Okay? They got him on a cross, okay? Displayed out there. It's definitely giving cult. And I'm like, oh my God. Now, I do believe that there's a higher spiritual power than myself, for sure. But I always have believed that you can question religion, and you should. Okay? Now, I could always go to what I always say. The Bible was written by men for men to govern men. There is not a single entry from a woman in the Bible. It's as if women weren't there. Were they there? Were they not there? Was Eve there or not there? What happened? They don't even want to deal with Lilith. Okay, Adam's first wife. Anyway, I'm not the most religious person, but based on my reading and my understanding, my questions are more never ending, right? But I saw somebody say something else about religion that tripped me out, right? They say homosexuality is a sin, right? This is what they claim. Homosexuality is a sin. Now, if Jesus died for our sins, then he died for the homosexuals. They're good. What's the problem? Anybody. I will wait. Because that makes 150% sense to me. If homosexuality is a sin and Jesus died for our sins, what the hell is everybody's problem? Why is everybody up in arms? Are we saying that? Is it true or not? What? And there we go, the indoctrination. It's the gaslighting for me. But again, you know, the Bible doesn't govern my life. And I'm not saying there aren't entries in the Bible. There are absolute entries in the Bible that make sense and could work for your life if you decide to choose that, or decide that you can be motivated by certain things that it says. For the most part, the Bible doesn't govern my life. So when people bring it up as a way to sway you or redirect your beliefs or your thoughts or your ideas, me personally, I'm not interested. It's not that I don't have faith, but the Bible itself is not an instruction manual for me in any way. Seriously. I just, You can leave me right up out of that. Like I said, it was written for men, by men, and I don't listen to men. So, men have me in the state of the world that I'm in right now. So, no. The leadership, boo, boo, tomato, tomato. Okay? And until that changes, I don't know what you're talking about. But even still, you know what I mean? God didn't write the Bible. He doesn't have one entry in the Bible, God himself. With that in mind, everything that's there is not only not written by God, but it's left for interpretation, all the way up into the King James Version. Enough. So, but like I said, that human sacrifice stuff had me tripping. I was like, oh, snap. It is communion. It's definitely giving human sacrifice, ritualistic, right? Drinking blood, eating the body. Why are we eating it? What's the reason why we need to eat the body and drink the blood of Christ? What's the reason? What do you mean he sacrificed his son? Huh? Oh, snap. I was like that meme. Oh, snap. So it's all good in the Bible. And for religion, right, which for some people still believe is a cult, to sacrifice a human, eat their body, and drink their blood. It's okay to do that for what? Religious and cult purposes. So why can't Jeffrey Epstein and his crew sacrifice humans, eat their body, and drink their blood? How come they can't do it? What's the problem? I'll wait, but I won't have to wait long because no thank you, okay? All right? I'd rather have something else to eat. But it'll get you to thinking. It'll get you to thinking. And so that whole concept is trippy, and I think it can stand for, I mean, and here's the thing. It's a lot of people that are not going to be able to answer those questions or give you any insight onto why it's okay here and not okay there in this particular scenario. Either way, it could be, there's an argument for it to be a cult. Either way, there's an argument for it to be cult-like behavior. So what's the difference? And unless somebody is able to tell you the difference, you should be questioning that. You should. You should. Because who gets to decide what murder is? Now, should we flip into the Bible and see where it says that at? Because it does say that apparently somewhere, right? Tripping me out. Tripping me out. But that's food for thought. It definitely gave me a lot to think about. I was just like, whoo, geez, a little wheeze. And as we know, anything in the Epstein files, as we know, and it's been said a million times, has already went down on the plantations. Okay, the difference between them and us is literally skin tone. Literally skin tone. They've been sacrificing babies, drinking blood, eating them, feeding the black people to alligators. They've been doing that. It's been going on. But unless y'all want to have a true economic blackout and everybody go on strike for real, a la the Montgomery boycott, shout out to Black History, until y'all ready to do that, which white people would never truly be able to be on board with it. Because number one, they want to be able to depot and colonize, okay, and gentrify the movement. They want to be able to do that. So that's going to be the number one hard thing that white people keep. They asking for unity, but they're not going to be able to really accept the unity. Because when the creativity and the execution of what needs to happen happens, and black people are at the forefront of that, white people are going to feel the need to say, well, we were there and we did this and we did that. And it's just given, they're going to want to have something that goes down in history. And what they fail to realize is what we're witnessing right now with our administration is truly white history. It's white history. Like, this is what y'all fighting for. This is what y'all fighting to keep going. And that's why it's still here, alive and well. Alive and well. Now, I want y'all to refocus, okay? Damn these Epstein files and damn ICE. I need you to focus on the aliens. Because that was trippy. That was trippy. Let's not talk about the Epstein files. I want to talk about the aliens. I want to talk about the aliens. I said, that DJT is a mess, honey, okay? He said, look, we all looking at this way. He go, oh, look, there's Elvis. And everybody looks that way. He said, focus on the aliens. Please stop talking about Epstein. Please stop. And it's trippy, right? Because it's like, this Epstein stuff been going on. He want to know, why y'all trying to say something now? You know how people ask you those questions? Why are you bringing it up now? This been going on. Y'all been knew about this. That's where he's coming from. Y'all been knew about this, and now y'all trying to have a problem with it. Now it's the problem? Food for thought. Food for thought. Focus on the aliens. I said, ooh. I want to see the picture. Y'all got pictures of the aliens? I want to see. But more importantly, is a big spaceship going to come and beam me up? Because I'm ready. I'm ready. Let me pack a couple of bags. They can send me right into the galaxy. Because I've had enough of this. Beam me up, Scotty. Oh, it's 8 o'clock and I'm not even at my... Oh, terrible. But anyway, yeah, so it's too much. It's too much. But you know what else is too much? Oh, my God. Tourette's syndrome is too much. Tourette's syndrome is too much. I don't know anybody with Tourette's personally, even though I know people who got tics. I know people who say crazy stuff. I do know them, okay? But the guy at the BAFTA Awards says the word nigga while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo are up there trying to present an award. He says it at least twice, minimum, that I remember hearing. Delroy Lindo, that caught him off guard for a second. I know he probably wanted to run into that crowd. They just kept going, which was, I guess, admirable. It's not something I admire personally. If that would have happened to me, in my mind, I would have just walked off the stage and let the network figure out what they was going to do to fill that space. I just would have walked off. The room would have went quiet and I would have walked right off. That's what I wish they would have done. To really, really darken the moment even more. They should have just walked off and been like, I can't do this and I shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? This is what y'all are interested in, and I don't have to stay here and proceed because I'm trying to be this bigger person. Enough. They should have walked right off. But Tourette's syndrome is out of control with this guy. This grown man, okay? In his 60s, and not one time did he say cracker, hunky, you know what I mean, spick. He ain't say none of that when everybody else went up there. So his nigger statement for a moment was perfect timing. Enough. Oh my goodness. I was like, wow. But again, this is what y'all want. This is what y'all fighting for. This is what y'all want, and this is what y'all fighting for. So here it is. But I really wish they would have walked off. I really wish they would have walked off. This is like, I don't have to stand up here and continue this. I don't have to be the bigger person here because the network could have edited it out before they showed that to us. But in a way, I'm glad they showed it so we could know exactly what happened without them trying to dilute it or make it seem like something else happened. I'm not saying Tourette's don't make people say things, but Tourette's doesn't create words. It doesn't make you say words that are not necessarily in your vocabulary. Okay? That's in your vocabulary. You be saying nigga, and you said it. You said it. Enough. I don't need an apology. You said what you wanted to say, and that's that. And that's that. Now, the fact that nobody made it seem like he was straight up retarded, right? Because you don't want to say nigga, right? People saying nigga, but you don't want me to say retarded. You don't want me to say handicap. You don't want me to say faggot. You don't want me to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Every word could be said, can't be said, but nigga could still be said. Okay? A group of straight up retards think that they can say what they want to say and everybody else can't say what they want to say. We just out here swapping words. We using words. That's all we're doing. Oh, I got to get in front of all these people because this is the problem. This is why I'm late right now. Look at this line. I'm not waiting in it. This little Hyundai accent nervous. You know, I'm getting in front of all these people. I got to go. I'm getting in front of y'all too. I'm getting off this exit. Y'all wait in line, not me. And I can't get over to the third row. Damn. The hell, is it an accident or do people really got to get to work today? I mean, Jesus Christ, a Latter-day Saints. But yeah, they out there saying the N-word and it's giving, bring the word retarded back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Because what the hell? If you could call me a nigga, I could certainly call you a retard. What the hell are we talking about? It's just words, right? Everybody can apologize after they say what they want to say, right? Okay, so I'll say retarded, and then you tell me that I'm wrong and that I shouldn't say stuff like that, and then I'll say, oh my God, I'm sorry, that's, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'll do my apology, and it's all good. Speaking of apologies, okay, I don't know if y'all saw, but Hunter College in New York was having like a Zoom call where they had like an 8th grader doing Black History, and one of the teachers at Hunter College, last name Friedman, something like that, okay, peep game, was saying how, yeah, even Martin Luther King said that first of all, she said they're too dumb to know that they're in a terrible school. That's the first thing she said. Then she said, yeah, and even Martin Luther King said, if you let them go, they're smart enough to know that if you keep making them go to the back. Some statement he said. Let me get in front of you before you get over here. All right. And so, to make a long story short, they was all on a Zoom call while a black 8th grader was reading some Black history stuff, and she said that, and everybody on the Zoom call heard her, blah blah blah. And then of course she did an apology, and it was just, I really want people to stop apologizing. You know what I mean? Because it's come like this social expectation that's unnecessary, and it's not real, and it's not needed. What are you apologizing for? Say what you want to say and stand on it. Stand on it. What the hell are you apologizing for? You've already said it. The apology isn't accepted. It's just something that you're checking off the box to make sure you make the apology. No. You know what I mean? That's why say what you want to say and only apologize if you're sorry. If you're not, you said what you said, right? Fuck these niggas, right? Okay, so then that's it. That's the answer. Why are we pretending that that's not how we feel? Why are we pretending that you didn't just finish saying that? Why are we pretending that an apology is needed for saying that? You don't need to say sorry. You're not sorry. That's what it is for you. Let's move on. Let's move on. This is what y'all fighting for. To be able to say the N-word, call people niggas. Okay, this is another reason why a lot of people, like I said, have recently, in most recent times, we getting their ass handed to them. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, whatever is the outcome is going to be the outcome. But, anyway, you know, I've had it with these people regardless. Hopefully, I don't never have to have an encounter like this. And I want to continue to thank the Lord for not putting me in a situation where I would have to decide on the spot how I'm going to react to something like this. Okay? The only thing, if I'm going to have to react, will have to be something that affects my daughter. Besides that, I'd like to think I could figure out my way around things. But as we know, it's easier to say what you would do and how you would act than it will ever be to be in the situation and then be tested right there on the spot on how you're going to respond. But again, I'm just thankful that I haven't had to have this interaction at this point, because a lot of stuff right now, not even just right now, just in general, when you're really trying to get somebody to understand something, you need to get stuff nipped in the bud right then. You know what I mean? Don't talk to me like that. Get somebody else to do it. Okay? Find somebody else. I'm not your target. I am not your target. And so, that's really always my point. I'm not the butt of no joke. Okay? I'm going to get mad for real, and then I'm going to go king on you, and I'm going to talk about your mother. Period. I'm going to talk about you and her. You know what I mean? I'm going to bring your kids into it, because what the hell is this? Not me. Find somebody else, but it's not me. You know what I mean? And whatever the outcome is of that is what it's going to be. But again, I'm just thankful that I haven't had to encounter these things where I really got to point out and show up for my own standard, which is don't do me, because I'm not out here starting trouble. Okay, I'm only out here finishing the trouble up. I'm getting the trouble over with. Okay, so that's how I like to participate. But I'm not starting nothing with nobody. You know what I mean? But I'm not letting nobody start nothing with me or be no bully to me. No. And that ain't for my daughter neither. She's so sweet. You know what I mean? Granted, she got a smart mouth, but she's sweet, and she don't be really wanting to have a problem, even at 9. She ain't had no real problems, but, But I do tell her, you have every right to defend yourself, and don't worry about, they gonna say, I'm gonna call your mother. We'll try to figure out what the context is and what's going on and what was said, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna embarrass her down to the class because somebody called her a nigga and she called them retarded. That's what you better call them. You tell them your mother's a nigga. That's what I told her. I hate it, but that's what I told her to say. Now, I'm telling y'all why I told her this, and it's true. I don't need anybody that's listening, as far as you can hear me, to agree or not agree. I don't need a co-signer, okay? I'm telling her how I want her to respond to people, okay? I don't want nobody thinking they could play the dozens with her without knowing she got a professional dozens player on her side that's going to let her know. This is how you going to talk about somebody. This is how you going to drag somebody down to their corns. Okay? We not letting people talk to us crazy, especially unnecessarily. If you didn't start and somebody starts calling you the N-word, you better call their motherfucking mother the N-word. I said, I bet you the little white person start crying first. They're not even going to understand. We ain't trying to get you to understand. We trying to get you to know that we don't know who you talking to. Now I got to bring your mother up. And that's what I told Sophia. Bring their mother up. And watch what happens. Watch it be a big shock. Mm-hmm. We ain't going to talk about you and your whole family. Like y'all ain't shit. That's what we going to do. That's what we're going to do. But yeah. So yeah, me teaching Sophia how to roast is absolutely always going to be on the menu. You ain't nobody's target, boo-boo. If somebody want to start playing the dozens with you, be like, bet. Okay, we could do that. Anyway, I'm late enough. It's 8:11. Like I said, thank y'all for picking up. Don't let nobody piss you off today. It's enough going on, and I just explained everything that was going on, and that's just a couple of things. So don't let anybody piss you off today. It's not really worth it. It's enough to already be pissed off about without it including a specific person. Granted, if somebody is pissing you off, you know what to do. And if you don't, you can get down in my comments and ask me what to do, or you can get in my DM and ask me what to do, and I'll tell you, okay? Y'all have a good day, and I'm going to do the same, and I will talk to y'all hopefully tomorrow. All right, y'all have a good one.